Hello, it's Alex again. As I said yesterday, I am approaching the fourth end of my trading career. I'm almost through the fourth time of funding my account, and I quite literally have no more money left right now that I want to use on trying to practice with real money. So this is it for me for now with trading. I had my fair share of experiences, and I had my fair share of, well, my unfair share of losses. And I'm going to call it a day here. I have one chart I can show you which I think perfectly describes my trading career. MBIO today did this. I want you to just look at it and appreciate what has happened and what I have made out of it. So just to describe it, it was, well, to give you a little bit of history, this stock made an insane move yesterday after market closing. So you see at 5, this stock was at 268. Or let's put it this way, at 5 o'clock, this was at 266 or 68. And 6 minutes later, it was at $15.50. Of course, I wasn't there to see that. I would have loved to see that. I would have taken as many shares that I could have, but boy, you cannot know that kind of stuff. So, anyway, it had done this move, and as the market was opening today, it kind of dipped down. And it was kind of up and down, but as the pre-market session went through, it got it was crawling slightly higher. Anyway, it was not really giving away many of its previous gains, so it still looked quite good. So as the market opened, I expected this to go somewhere. At 9:30, it kind of did like a little bit of pullback, and then it started shooting up, and I got in. And I got in at the very high because then it started going down again. I stop out, it goes down, and then it goes from a low of 749 to within 5 minutes, it goes to 1018. So $3.50. And this entire thing, especially this move here, came out of nowhere. At 7, I think it was just before the $8 mark, and as it crossed $8, it immediately shot up to, what is this? Oh yeah, 870 or something. Immediately, within a blink of an eye, and it kind of hovered a little bit around. It kind of fell down, came back up. And as you can see, this wick ends up here, and this second wick is down here, which is a 50-cent difference. So it's quite a volatile stock. It's going up and down, but primarily it's going up. And it's going up, up, up. And here, I'm thinking as it breaks 10, it's going to keep going, And I get in just before 10. It does go to a high of 1019. To which I did not sell, and I stop out at 968. And that is pretty much how my entire trading has been. We can say that this was the first time I started trading with real money. This was the simulator time, and this is the second time trading with real money. So what's the lesson here? Don't take the simulation experience for granted. Sure, I think my biggest mistakes in this entire journey have been greed in a way. I'm taking too high risks. That's kind of like my biggest weakness. Overconfidence in my abilities, maybe, which translates more generally into taking a lot of trades and getting on the market very early on and not being very prudent. I really enjoy the process of trading. I think I have a weakness for gambling. That might be my issue. So with that in mind, I have an issue here because stock trading is not like gambling, and you really need to think through all your trading. Now, I've had I've had some good trades as well. I've had some situations where I did not take a trade, even though I analyzed it correctly, and then it ended up just spiking very strongly. So it's not that I haven't learned anything. I have learned a lot, and I have not always acted on what I have learned. That is, I guess, the biggest issue. And then also what I mean, it helps me to think about it that way, but also the market has just not been very strong in the time that I've been trading. It seems that I've had a very bad hand in choosing the time to trade real money. I think in the first few weeks of January, the market was very strong, and then when I joined in the second half of January, the market slowed down a little bit. I'm not too sure. It didn't slow down too much. It was my first time trading, and I made a lot of mistakes. But I think there was some weak days in that. Then in February, as I was going into the I think it was February, right? When I went into the simulation, in the simulator at first it was kind of bad, but then we had 2 really good weeks, in which I killed the market perfectly. I mean, if you watch my videos, in the simulation, I made tens of thousands of dollars almost every day. So I did a really good job in the simulation. And just as I leave the simulation and try to go back to real money trading, the market kind of like slows down again. I'm not saying this to comfort myself I don't want to pretend that it's the market's fault. No, I mean, I made mistakes, but honestly, the market did slow down in those times that I actually traded, especially the second time. We've seen some of the biggest drawdowns in stocks in the first 2 weeks that I was trading for the second time. So I guess my timing on the market in general, on the season, was very bad. That's the third reason. So I was overconfident. I still made mistakes, and the market was not so good. So in the end, I'm eating through my own capital, and now I have nothing left. So it's time to rethink this and go find another solution. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go back to study, and before I end, maybe I can show you the trades I took today, because they didn't look all too bad, but they didn't work out the way I wanted to. MBRX. So let's look at SNGX. Well, looking at this now, I can clearly see that I definitely made a mistake here. So this had this spike pre-market, really nice spike before 8 o'clock, and then just before 8 here, a very nice spike again. And then it kind of corrected downward, and as it crawled back up and came a little bit back down, I decided, okay, maybe I'll try it here. Clearly, this is a downward trend. So this was not the smartest move. So that's again a mistake that I made, where I thought it is going to continue going, but it did not. So the smart thing here would have been to wait for it to approach this previous high here, or at least something remotely close to that. So I was thinking in this trade, let's try 120 again. So I got in with the hope that it might go to 120, and it didn't. So I stopped out. In fact, I got in. Oh yeah, I got in here. Tried again here, and sold again here. I was really not in I started the day. Okay, another thing that I need to mention: I was in a bad mood, and it shows in here. I'm making bad decisions. So if you're in a bad mood, don't trade, because you're bound to make bad decisions, like I did today on that one. So here, I was following the plan. So as this was breaking through the previous high of day, and especially the market had just opened, it was shooting up. I thought, maybe it's going to go somewhere. I bought at the very high here, at the very high of day. And it faded, and I stopped out reasonably quickly, because obviously it didn't go anywhere. But, excuse me. But yeah, that was the second or third trade I did today, which did not go my way at all. Even though the analysis was better, it was approaching a new high of day. Let's look at the daily to confirm if that was a reasonable trade. 120. This was it. Okay, no, on the daily, this wasn't. I mean, it's kind of going below yesterday's high. So actually, it was. Had I looked at this, I could have had a better assessment on the situation. But it was breaking. It did look like a clear upward trend on the daily. If you look at this, like this is, I mean, it's a weak upward trend, but it's kind of looking like one. And definitely, it broke through this high. So yeah, it was not the best trade. Not really good confirmation on the daily. Again, I was in a bad mood, a bad decision. Don't do that. All right, and the MBIO I already showed you. That's the one down here. And then the last one is IMUX, which was a little bit of a risky trade, but it looked good. So it had gone, and also it was a very small position, 10 shares, because it's too expensive. So anyway, this was halted and a circuit breaker halt on, I think, 40,000 shares of volume. Very low volume. Being so low volume, it's a risky trade to take coming out of the halt. But it looked kind of good. You see, first of all, it got halted at 1790 roughly. What is this? 1794. And it opened up at 1912. Or it opened up above 19. So already more than $1 upwards of that. I can't speak English right now. I was hoping for this. I was hoping, and with like a small likelihood, expecting it to go into several circuit breaker halts in a row, at least in the second one, and then maybe a third one. So as it was showing some strength here, I did get in again at the very high, and it immediately flushed. It got rejected. And I was hoping that maybe this is just a one-time flush and then it goes again, because that sometimes happens. So as this first candle here, first red candle closed and the second one opened, I was waiting for this to go to new highs. But as this one reached the very bottom of the last red candle, I stopped out. For I mean, with 10 shares, it's just a $23 loss. But still, given my account size, it's a big loss. So yeah, I was a little bit careless today because, quite frankly, I already lost money, and I think I need to reassess anyway. So it was just my greed, I guess, and not my greed, my gambling addiction showing. So yeah, very self-critical video, but I don't want to bore you with my problems. That's it. Let me just stop right here, and maybe you learned something. At least you saw some problems that can happen. If you have if you show similar symptoms as me, then maybe you need to reassess as well before you get so far down as I am. And yeah, once I have a solution, I will of course restart this channel, and I will share with you my solution. So stick with me, and maybe you'll find me back again in a while with a new strategy. In any case, I'm not going to be shooting any more video, at least next week. I'm getting visitors, and I don't think I'm going to be shooting videos after that either, until I find a new strategy that I can do, that I can trade. So, or an additional strategy. So, well, thank you for having been here until now, and I hope to see you again, hopefully very soon. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye-bye. Where is it? I want to stop this video. This software is really annoying. All right, goodbye.